Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hall Family Wines Happy Hour, the show where great minds drink alike. My name is Kathryn Hall. We have a great show ahead. My guest is Cole Hauser, whom you know from so many memories, so many movies over the years. And most recently, my guess is all of you are following him as I am, as Rip on this series Yellowstone. So it's just so many questions to ask, and it's just been such a fabulous season and crazy season. Lots of questions coming up. But we've got just lots of things to talk about and a little wine to drink. So we're going to be tasting this wine. I want to be sure that I've got it here in front of the camera right. This is our Jack's Masterpiece Cabernet. And the reason that I picked that for Cole and me to try today is simply because I think it's the perfect holiday wine. And that's what we all are doing these days, is we're getting together and picking out wines and doing a lot of celebrating. And I think there's a lot of qualities about this that are going to be just perfect for all of us at holiday time. So now I am so thrilled to welcome back Cole Hauser. Cole, are you there?
Thank you so much.
Hey, so great to see you.
Cheers, darling. Good to see you again.
So, hey, so we'll talk about this wine a little bit later. This is our Jack's Masterpiece Cabernet, but I have so many questions to ask you. And now that we've got season 4, episode 6 came out this week on Sunday. This is like craziness. I mean, the violence is getting higher. The love affair with Rip and Beth is getting better. I mean, it's just honestly better than ever. Do you feel good about it?
God, as long as you say it's better than it is. As long as you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, I feel like, the audience is, obviously they've spoken, the numbers and seeing, them come in and really support the show. I'm over the moon and very, very happy and very blessed. So.
It really has just been, it's just crazy, Cole. I just love that. Honestly, I mean, I love the show. We all love the show. We've followed you in so many wonderful movies over the years, but now to see you back as this sort of hitman with a heart, and he's got this
hitman with a heart. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's true.
Wow,
and
yeah.
So all of you and those of you who watched us when Cole was on before, as you know, he's wonderful about answering questions. So if you've got some questions, put them online and we'll see what we can do to get to them. But yeah, you are, Cole, you are the sort of like this soft side of you that keeps on sort of exposing itself. And I just am wondering how you feel about your character. Is your character changing?
I mean, he's always, I would hope that he's always evolving, especially when you do a television show. You have to make sure that each year you're a little bit different, and that the audience can see a different side of you. So, if people are seeing that this year, then I've done my job.
Yeah. Actually, I wondered that watching him, whether Rip was sort of always this way or whether he is developing as a human being. What do you think?
I would say, yeah, he's definitely always developing as a human being. I mean, and with Beth, certainly, it's she's she's somebody that if you're not constantly developing, she's going to let you know. So, but yeah, no, I feel like this year is different, especially with the kid that's come into the show and
Yeah,
how he has to
Carter.
deal with, Carter, with how he has to deal with him. And, I don't think it's easy for him to allow himself to be vulnerable and listen, he's a guy that he's a tough love guy, and certainly with Carter, and it's funny, I was talking, to Kelly Riley the other day, and we were having this kind of amazing conversation about what it kind of meant for her and also for me as well, to have, because we don't really talk a lot about, we go on screen together and we allow each other to play, we don't sit the night before and say, hey, I'm going to play it this way, or you're going to play it this way. So we kind of discover each other, on screen. And I think it was funny. She said to me, she goes, what was the moment that you really kind of realized, okay, I'm going to stop the truck and I'm going to go get this kid, after we had this, get out, he was trying to smoke a cigarette in my truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I think it was, and then Stephen Kay, the director, who's really, great old friend of mine, but really a brilliant director. He said, Cole, can I capture your eyes, in the rearview mirror? And I said, well, of course. I'm going to be looking at him. And he goes, yeah. So he edited it in a certain way, Kathryn, where he saw the acknowledgement of, oh my God, that's me back there. And it took, Rip a minute to realize, hey, this is different, meaning I'm not a thief. I never went through all the things that Carter went through, but that look of, man, he's on the road by himself, and I think that's where, for me as the character, I was like, wow, okay, that's what loneliness is for these young kind of kids like that. So.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about that on the loneliness, but it really is so much about the loneliness.
Well, yeah, if you look at my character, he was basically hiding in a barn, and the sheriff called John Dutton and said, hey, can you take this kid, And so, and after he had killed his stepdad. So it's kind of like, if you start to put it all together, you're like, there's just that moment where you look in the mirror, and you have to go back and watch it. But, it's that moment that you just go.
Years since season one, but yeah. Oh man, this is what makes your show so good. It's just, it is so relevant. And not many of us are going to identify with a guy who keeps taking people to the train station, but but at the same time, there is something in Rip that touches everybody here, and also Kelly and everybody. It's just and Beth and everybody. So I actually, one of my favorite lines, I loved when Beth was saying to Carter something about I like your style, kid. When she was in that scene when. Anyway, so this, I think Carter is going to be a wonderful addition. And I'm so excited about that. I think it's going to, I am like everybody else. What was confusing to me was when he said at the end of, this last episode where he was talking about, I want to just be like him. And was he talking about John, or was he talking about Rip?
No, he was talking about, John, because, what I said to him prior to that was, don't think that you deserve, any of this, and I think for him, obviously, and even for Rip, I think, ultimately, when you look at somebody in your life, whether it's your father or whether it's your grandfather, or whether it's somebody that you just look at and you go, I want to be like them. I think Rip has always tried, to really be the best example of what, John gave him, which is raised, like he can have problems.
He can have what?
What just happened? Oh, did I lose you there?
Just for a second, but you're back. But you were saying something about John and.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Did I lose you?
I'm here. Are you there? Oh, so maybe.
Can you hear me, Kat?
Maybe good to go back out. If you're not there, to go back off and then come back in.
I can't hear you for some reason. What's going on here?
So, Cole, you can just, you can sort of take off and then come back in and maybe we can get a better connection with you. So to everybody, while you're asking, none of us want Cole to leave, and he's gonna go, I think, but he's gonna be back. But remember that if you have a question that you want to ask, get it in the queue, because we'll bring him on back. And yeah, I think he's going to jump on out. And in the meantime, I'm going to just do what comes so naturally is I'm going to drink a little wine and I'm going to talk to you about this wine. So we are doing Jack's Masterpiece. Can you see this? Here's the bottle. So this is one of our most popular Cabernets. And the reason I wanted to have it tonight with Cole is because I think it's just perfect for this time of year. It's very dense, it's really rich, it's got this wonderful sort of a black fruit quality to it that is a nice counterpoint to really rich, savory foods, but at the same time, it has the density to stand up to really big dishes, which is what most of us are eating these days here at Thanksgiving and now Christmas and the holidays coming up. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll tell you a little story.
I'm finally back.
Oh, you're back.
Sorry, geez, I don't know what happened there.
I just defaulted to drinking wine, so let's. What can I say? So, cheers, Cole.
You're the best. Cheers. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I mean,
I'm glad you're
not
back.
good with this technology.
Yeah. So I was telling everybody while you were gone too that they should.
Did you cover for me?
Yeah. Well, I did. I could not cover for you. Everybody wants you, but I did drink. What can I say? And so
that's good enough.
Yeah, well, it's something. And people are going to start asking some questions and we'll put them on when you're back. So we've got some audience questions that are coming back in, and you are so candid and so wonderful to share them. But before you left, we were actually talking about the season, about the characters. And, I've seen you say in other venues that you like to do stunts yourself. And so when I saw the show, this episode 6, and you really gave it was Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do that?
I did, yes.
You did?
And really? Listen, I have such a great affinity for Lloyd, and for Foyer J. Smith. I mean, I had to beat him up properly. The thing about Foyer, though, is that he takes a beating well.
Yeah,
he's tough as nails. I mean, he's a bareback rider, so just know how tough that kid is. Oh yeah. He's the real deal. He's Montana bareback rider. Yeah.
Well, he looks like the real deal.
He is the real deal. Yeah, no, he is 1,000%.
Oh my gosh, that bareback riding. That's big.
It's not something you and I want to do. Our back might totally give out.
Yeah. No, I'm over that.
We're better doing this stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I
This I'll stick to this. So
mean?
so Cole, we have an audience question that has come in for
Yeah.
you.
Please
And let's
fire away.
bring this on. Oh my gosh, but you're gonna have to make this bigger on the screen because I can't
I
see
can
it.
barely see it.
Yeah.
We need a
Okay,
like a mag.
yeah, really. Okay. While they figure out how they're gonna make this like large enough that okay, here's the question.
That us old people can see it.
Yeah, well, do not use that. I do not use that
Sorry.
three-letter word. Sorry. No. Okay. Here it is. The question is, Cole, if you had the opportunity to change one thing about Rip, what would it be?
Nothing.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Actually, I love that question. That's really, I mean, I I think that Rip,
He's like the purest human being in the world.
yeah,
I've made him that way. You know,
you
he's
have.
so pure. It's like Montana running water. You know, it's perfect. I don't know. I love playing him. I love waking up every day and going like, how can I even make him, more of an American man? How can I make him classier, more of a gentleman? How can I show emotions, you know, in colors within his character? I love it.
The script is really following you too, because I know that you and Sheridan have a very close relationship and you work together in the character development, but but it really seems to me that of all the characters on the show, it is Rip who is just he's flowering as a human being.
Listen, first of all, with Taylor, he is such an amazing writer, and he is the beginning, middle, and end, for the most part, when it comes to, this show. And obviously, Kevin, is an amazing creative soul. Kelly Riley, Luke, Jamie, Wes Bentley, myself. But it's like, then you have Jefferson White, you have Jake Green, you have Foyer J. There's so many people that just have these wonderful souls that are on their show that he cast along with, John Linson, who's a great old buddy of mine. And we were just blessed, man, to have a great American writer like him, and he allows me to be free, and that's all you can ask for as an actor.
No, it really is. It is so. I wonder, did you used to think that Rip was going to be so incredibly popular? I don't know, I'm sure you guys look at the numbers, but I have to think that Rip is the one that everybody's talking about. Is that a surprise to you?
Yeah, to be honest, yes, for sure. I'm a very humble guy, and you know me. Like I'm not somebody that would ever think, hey, this guy's gone on to, to be such a sex symbol.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you go from sitting in that bathtub. I gotta say, Cole, that's crazy. Yeah.
I'm half kidding, but the thing is that, listen, I never get into anything ever, Kathryn, and think, oh, okay, well, yeah, of course this is going to be, the most, iconic kind of American man lately, and it's become that. And obviously a lot has to do with Taylor, a lot has to do with John casting me, and me playing it, and also having, these great actors, on the show with me that allow me to, be be great, I guess.
So do you think that part of the appeal of Yellowstone is just that it is such a positive American story? I mean, it showcases the beauty of America as a backdrop, but it also is just so much about who we are as Americans. I mean, I wonder if we aren't all looking for some kind of positive story to relate to, and through all the
It's
violence,
interesting, yeah.
Yellowstone gives
That's
us that.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think, Catherine, to answer that question, it's like I feel everybody has their own kind of vision of what, that is for them. And one of the things that you can do as an artist and also as a storyteller is allow people to, I guess take whatever journey it is that they feel, is effective, to them, and all you can do, as an artist, and again, it's starts with Taylor, and then it trickles down, is allow people to have that kind of freedom to, I guess, think whatever they want and how they see it. And for example, I've talked to Taylor about this. Like, I don't think he really was aware of, and nor was I, and nor was Kelly, like how this kind of love affair between these two would ever really truly touch the souls of America like it has. You just don't know that. And then, if you're lucky enough, which we have been, man, I mean, listening to people in Nevada and Las Vegas and, even Atlanta, I was in, Georgia. I mean, it is shocking how important that is to them and their relationship, which is like you sit there and you kind of go like, wow, how amazing is it to affect people like that,
Yeah.
So
How exciting is that?
pretty special. Pretty
Really?
special.
Yeah. As you talk about what you can do as an artist, and I love what you were saying, but you also, as a celebrity, can do things that so matter. And I would love you to talk with everyone about what you're doing with special operations, because I think you bring your celebrity, you bring your heart, you bring your support, and you've done just such a wonderful job for our heroes.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, number one. Number two, listen, I feel that I've been blessed enough to really get together with, some of the best people, and I've been to Afghanistan on USO tours. I've met so many unbelievable soldiers, throughout the last 20 years. And now I'm with Clay Hudmacher and Special Operation Warrior Foundation, which, basically makes sure that each and every kid, no matter, what branch you are in the military, that you're taken care of. You're going from kindergarten all the way through college. And there is no exception other than, hey, we're going to educate you. That's it. And it's been around for a very long time. It's almost 41 years. And I'm so thankful that they brought me in. They know how much I care about, the military, and how much it means to me that we, make sure that none of them are forgotten. This is, one of the toughest things, I think, I was born in 75, and hearing the stories coming back from Vietnam, these soldiers, how they were outcasts and they were homeless and they were not taken care of. It's not going to happen on my watch.
Thank you. Thank you. So the organization is Special Operations. How do people find this?
SpecialOperaWarriorFoundation.org. There you go. Yeah, it's right there on the screen.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
You've got it. So we keep getting some questions. So let's Let's
Yeah.
take one more
Oh,
question.
by the way, am I allowed to have a second glass?
You are so allowed to have a second glass, and I'm going to have a second glass too. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
but you're going to have to put this up so we can see it because
Dion Anderson, I can see that.
you can see.
Is that Dion?
I can't
barely
see
read
a
it.
thing, but okay. Just okay. If you can't make it any bigger, I'm just going to make up my own question here because I can do that.
I'm gonna
Okay,
make
here's
up
the
my own
question.
question.
How did the love interest of you and Beth how did the love interest of you and Beth develop from one season to the next? So how did the love interest develop between
Did the writers just see the chemistry?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Oh, thank you, first of all, Miss Anderson, for saying that. Yeah, no, I think Taylor did see. I think he. This is kind of a PhD program, but the rated R version is. Do you remember the sex scene?
Yeah.
I think they saw that her and
Yeah.
I were, and so and then I think her slapping me in the face and me taking it pretty good. I think Taylor at that moment he was like, wow, I love these two people. So he started writing initially, and I think there was also a couple scenes inside the house that I think he saw that I was challenging her, but she was challenging me, and it was this, but it wasn't Jamie, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to fight this guy. It was more of like, I really love him, and I don't know. I just think that every once in a while, you're lucky enough in this life as an artist that you meet somebody who helps, raise the bar and raise the level of you as an actor and an actress. So I feel like that's what happened.
Oh,
Did I answer your question?
yes, I love that. I just have to say, I also that's just part of what makes artists so. That's artistry. That's it's that human element that you can't force chemistry. It just happens. It just thank heavens that it does because we are.
It's like falling in love. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
You just
Totally.
see, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's you were coming off when I was like drinking all by myself. And
what do you mean? I'm with you here.
Okay. So now I'm back. But anyway, I wanted to talk just a little bit about this wine that you and I are drinking.
Yeah.
And so what I was saying
I feel like you should explain it to the audience a little bit about who Jack is and why it's such a masterpiece.
Jack is such a cutie. So Jack was 2 when his dad made this wine. Here's a picture of his art. So Jack is this, Jack has never known the world when he didn't have a wine named after him. His dad, which is, it's when he gets a little bit older, it's going to be a great thing on a date. But Jack's dad was our original winemaker, and then and is now the president of the winery. And so and there's a picture of Mike, his dad, and then a part of our team in there making wine. But anyway, so this is we make a lot of Cabernets that are single vineyard, but this is a vineyard that we take only mountain, we look for fruit in this wine that is going to give us a quality that we like. We want to have sort of a Cabernet that has structure, that is really dense, that it's actually a very masculine wine. I mean, if, my dad would call this a masculine wine. I think that's probably not PC now, but I mean, it's a very powerful wine, but it is powerful with this sort of velvet glove, because it's got this just lovely sort of.
I love that you say powerful, but with a velvet glove.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, do you like
soft,
the wine?
but it's a bit of.
Yes. Exactly. I could, maybe there's some characters in Yellowstone that might go with this,
No, I must tell you though, I mean, before, the show runs out, is that I called Mark Gervitz, because we moved down here to Florida, and I said, I gotta be honest, I really love, this whole wine, and I've been drinking a little bit of Jack's Masterpiece, and when I really want to have like a nice night sitting under the stars by myself, I find myself wanting to have a little Jack's Masterpiece, and I really like the Kathryn Hall. I mean, it's a really nice bottle, but this has got, like you said, it's got a little heaviness to it, so I'm digging it, really digging it.
Well, I am so glad that you do.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers to you. So before we go, I have like this little game that I wanted to play where I can just
Oh dear,
rapid fire.
Okay. All right.
Are you good to go? It won't
Let's
take
go.
long. Okay, here we go. I mean, these are so easy. You've got all the answers in your head. Number one.
Do you think I have all the answers in my head? Okay.
This one, I hope you do. What did you have for breakfast?
Oh God, I had an avocado.
That's so healthy. And by the way, I consider that very California.
Yeah, no, I had to bring the avocado. It was a Haas avocado with lemon and a little bit of salt.
Oh my God. After my heart, you are. I love that. Okay.
Listen, I love avocado.
Me too. Well, come on back to California. So who is the last person you texted?
Oh God, it has to be my sister. My sister Vanessa. She's a hard case. This one.
She's
really stressing me out. Yeah. She's constantly on me. Can you help me out with the
I love it. By the way,
get it back into that.
By the way,
you didn't think it was going to be that?
No, I didn't. I didn't. But you are a wonderful family.
My sisters love me dearly, and they always want. How do I say this nicely? They want me to help them figure out all these men. It's exhausting.
Well, that's part of the job description of being a brother,
I know. I mean, listen, who would have thought that a middle child would have to do all this stuff? It's exhausting.
I have a feeling you can handle it.
No, I can.
Who is the favorite actor you've ever worked with?
Oh, boy.
That's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a favorite?
I mean, a favorite, Morgan Freeman, to me, I think he's one of the most dynamic American actors ever to live, and to have the opportunity to actually work with him in this last movie was kind of a dream come true.
What is the movie?
It's called Muti.
Muti.
And in African, it's called Medicine. Yeah.
And this is coming out soon?
Yeah, I mean, we just finished it probably a month and a half ago. So, yeah, it'll come out in, I would say, a couple of months. But yeah, to work with somebody who is just that eloquent and so smooth in everything he does, it's pretty cool to watch from close up because I've been watching them from afar for a very long time. So it was cool to get on screen and have an opportunity to cha-cha, and dance with them. Yeah.
Oh, well, I've been watching him afar, as so have millions of people.
Yeah.
But Mike, he
Spectacular.
is amazing. He's really an icon. Okay, I'm going to ask you just two more rapid fires. I had such a list, but okay. I'm going to go to this one. What's the hardest thing you've had to do on a horse?
There's been a lot of hard ones, so I'm trying to think. What is the one that I'm most challenged with? I mean, roping is not easy. I'm gonna say probably roping because there's so much going on, and if you don't put in the time, you're just not going to be good at it. So I'd say roping. Cutting, I'm good at. I can rein, I can do all kinds of stuff, but roping with getting everything right and being would come out of the gates and throw. I mean, roping's tough.
So when you practice roping, do you really use those sort of like fake horses that have been on Yellowstone? Those are like the wood things.
No, well, we'll dummy rope on the back of a quad. They'll go around the arena and we'll dummy rope. But then eventually you have to go and you got to chase a cow. So, but yeah, dummy roping is not easy. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You can be the best athlete in the world. Dummy roping is not easy.
So can you do that? Have you been able to like rope a cow? Wow.
Come on, sweetie. Who do you think?
Well, hey, that's impressive. I just gotta say, yeah.
Of course I can.
Okay, of course you can. Okay.
It still isn't easy, but
Okay. You're this is my last question. So you are such a wonderful family man. And you've got such a beautiful and wonderful family. Tell us about your favorite holiday tradition, or at least one of them.
Oh, God. I would say waking up really early in the morning on Christmas morning, and the kids are still asleep, and to go down and sit there and wait for them to wake up and see them come down, whether it's the stairs here or out of their bedrooms, and to know, like, as a father, that you've created this for them, and nobody gave you nothing. You did it on your own. I think that's probably the coolest moment that a father can have.
I can't think of a better way to end a conversation, and especially at this time of year when everything is all about family. Cole Hauser, you are fabulous on screen. You are fabulous in person. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. What a pleasure.
Cheers. And to everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've had a good time. I certainly did. Yellowstone just keeps on coming, and we've got several more episodes we get to watch this season. And I wish you all a very, very happy holiday season. We are continuing to come back on Wednesdays. It is the Hall Family Wines Happy Hour. I'll be back, and to you all, in the meantime, stay safe and